Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League. I'm your very, very bestest friend, Gallium, and I'm here with the absolute legend, Chunklate. How you doing?
I'm doing great on this fine Monday evening or night, depending on where you live. But
Yeah, we got some West Coast people, I'm sure. You know.
yeah,
But Chunklate, we're gonna get this game kind of started a little quick because we are a little behind schedule. But before we get it started, I just want to thank Quackbot for coming back for 13 whole months. That's a lot of months.
yeah, a little over a year.
Yeah, look at see that's my goat right there. So
Uh,
these two teams, we have Motion versus the Wraiths. Should be an interesting matchup. Motion playing with an entirely new roster, and the Wraiths playing with the same roster they had at the beginning of the season. So two different tales for sure. Squirrel and Critter won on stream. I want to say like 2 weeks ago. So you know what? They might be back and better than ever. And Chunklate, it's that moment. Who you got taking this series?
I think I've got to go with this team: Squirrel, Critter, and Clouds. I've heard rumors that they've wanted to team up all season long, so I feel like the vibes are impeccable for them, and I think they're gonna get off to a hot start and just take the momentum 3-0.
You know what? I don't hate that. That's also my prediction. Put my channel points on them. If you guys want to put your channel points on the raids, that'd be greatly appreciated as well. Second, TTV Mercioso. It's gonna get his first goal of the game.
Yeah, Critter just kind of popped it up for him, and Squirrel missed it off the backboard. Critter nearly got back to it as well. Just a unfortunate series of whiffs that happened to start the series for Motion.
Wow, that you know what? Not the best start, but stream nerfs definitely a factor for sure. As I just want to take a second to talk about this Motion team. You mentioned it. Squirrel and Critter came over to Motion in a package deal. And when you get these two absolute legends together with the best player in Challenger, it's sure to be a very successful roster. As wait a second, Squirrel getting the pass from Critter. Unfortunately, not able to get anything going from that. Bonks sending it down. Squirrel's going to have to be there to retrieve it. Bonks now off the backboard. He's going to send it out. Oh my goodness, what a save by Clouds. An insane defensive performance so far. Smith's getting there, and it seems like the Rays are kind of putting on the pressure right now, Chunk.
Yeah, the Wraiths have kept them in their own half. I've really been looking to LrdCloudz to clear this ball because he is the dominant offensive member on this Motion roster. So I'd like to see the big plays from him come out, the big scoring potential that he has, leading all offensive stats for goals. I'd just like to see that from him this series.
You know what? And we might just see it. I mean, it's not that crazy to say that, as seems as though Wraiths are kind of putting on a little bit more pressure than I initially thought. We'll see if Motion can't respond right here. Squirrel, a low shot, and the low left shot's gonna beat the entire defense.
Yeah, like I said, Cloud started with 0 boost and got the pass to Squirrel, who just gave him a little too much time, and Squirrel just slots it with all the time in the world, slots it bottom left.
You know, that was a great goal from Squirrel, who's a Nemesis legend, you know, absolute goat. He's been a Nemesis forever. Critter's been a Nemesis forever. So, you know, you get two of those guys on the team, it's gonna be good. But on the other hand, I did play against the Wraiths. They have a very good squad. And I haven't seen Bonks play, but so far in this game, he's looking really good. As Macarios is going to miss that one. Bonks going to go up with it. Off the backboard, Critter can't reach it. Bonks gets bumped from behind. Macarios with the shot. And of course, he puts in his second of the game.
Yeah, Macarios is kind of leading this team with offensive pressure, kind of missed rotations back. And Clouds nearly got back to it, but Macarios sneaks his second through to take this game as we're reaching that halfway point.
Yeah, and I always say, if you're gonna prove the haters wrong, the best place to do it is on stream. And it seems as though the Wraiths are surprising a lot of people. I mean, the 2-6 team hanging with the 6-2 team with a newly acquired roster that turned a lot of heads. So we'll see if they can't continue this. They're going to need to hold on if they want to take this game one. Smith is going to send it over maybe to Macarios. Wait a second, he missed an open net. Smith is now idle in the midfield just watching the goal. And how in the world did that just happen, Chung?
just a miscommunication from those. I saw lining up for an open net. Everyone just committed on offense as Clouds will send it off the backboard, but just a miscommunication. I thought for sure they were going to capitalize on that, but I don't know if the stream nerves got to them or if one of them expected the other to go, but just a miscommunication there.
Oh yeah, for sure. And wait a second, Critter's gonna slot his first of the game.
Squirrel gets it over Smith, and Clouds again with another assist this game to Critter. Macarius almost got back to it, but Clouds just leading this offense with assists this game, not passes, which we haven't seen from him this season, so good to see a little change.
Yeah, as I say, you know, it's a brand new Clouds as, oh my goodness, the fake, intentional or not, Critter faked him out. And one thing I will say about Critter is he heats up the later the series goes. So the Wraiths, they're gonna want to win this game, and they're gonna want to win in pretty much a sweep, because Critter on the stream back when he was, as we have Clouds just gonna sneak it right in, and I think he got a little bit of help from the defense.
Yes, looked like a pass for Critter. Critter faked out the defense, and Poink's just forced to react really quick and doesn't get that save off. Just an unfortunate defensive possession for the Wraiths here.
His Critter's up with it, and he's gonna slot his second of the game, and now Clouds has 3 assists.
Yeah, they're really heating up here. You surely need to stop this scoring potential from this team, as they've just kept the pressure on and on now.
You know, and a good offense is a good defense. As I mean, if the opponent can't get into your end, they can't score chunk late. I mean, it's just a common state of Rocket League.
Yeah, just kind of fluid game from them. They haven't really let shots come out as Caster Curse comes out and they get a shot on target, but it was cleared away easily.
You know, it's okay, Chuck Light.
Yeah. I don't want to curse this
you.
team too hard.
we still love you, Chunk Light. As we have 45 seconds left in this game, and Clouds is gonna hopefully ice this game if the Wraiths can't pull off some voodoo magic.
Yeah, Clouds has 100% goal participation with 2 goals, 3 assists. Just been the catalyst to this motion team that we've seen all season from him.
Yeah, he is exceptional, and if you have him on your fantasy team, you're doing very well for yourself. As Bonks is gonna put it off the crossbar there. Cloud's gonna miss his touch. Now Squirrel there to recover it. 30 seconds left in this game. Clouds unfortunately cannot get the 50. Now Critter has to race for it. He's gonna take a touch. Now Smith gonna bang it towards the net, but Squirrel another save, this time on 0 boost. But wait a second, Makios accidentally just passed it out mid. Critter is gonna send it off the ceiling. Squirrel to Clouds. Oh my goodness, that would have been an insane highlight reel play. But fortunately for the Wraiths, they didn't make contact. Critter trying to go for an insane angle, and all right, Squirrel, that was just mean. That was just mean.
Yeah, insane angle crossfire down with 0 seconds left. A nasty pass. It didn't look like he got a touch, but he did. As this team came alive after starting kind of quiet on the offense. Just a really solid game to finish it off.
Yeah, I honestly very confused. Because the Wraiths just looked so dominant early on, but they just absolutely disappeared. Motion just took control of the midfield. They're like, all right, enough fun and games. We're going to really get into it. And it seems as though Clouds being the catalyst for this offense, as you mentioned, he almost had 100% goal participation. He had 2 goals, 3 assists, and they had 6 goals. So there's only 1 goal he wasn't a part of, which is a pretty good stat, especially considering a high octane game like that. But Chunklight, I gotta ask for your opinion here. What do you think the Wraiths have to do to get back in this one?
I think they did a good job, like I said, stopping the catalysts early on. With stopping Clouds, he didn't look like he was getting too much pressure, but the later that game went on, the more and more he became active in that offense, and it allowed 6 goals. As Clouds is gonna get a nasty goal. That is disgusting by Clouds. I would say he's the most mechanical player in Shally. What would you say, Galio?
I just threw up in my mouth. That was actually gross. That is actually gross. I think I need to take a trip to the doctor. That was probably the most peak shot I've seen in a while hit on stream, and you could just see this motion team exudes confidence right now. As Squirrel gonna exude so much confidence, he decides not to hit the ball there. Smith off the backboard, gonna give it down to Critter. Critter can't find the touch, and Macarios down the other end. Cloud gonna take one touch, gonna try to get it across, and he does. Squirrel gonna miss his touch, and now Smith with a free shot. Can it by the back of the net? Yes, it can, and the Wraiths have life.
It's good to see the Wraiths respond here. Just a missed pass opportunity, and Smith reads the missed pass and just puts in an easy goal to give them a little momentum here and kind of look to take game 2 so that it's not a sweep like we predicted.
You know, they just hate us, Junklight. That's what it is. They heard the prediction. They're like, you know, we gotta at least make it like 3-1. So, you know, it's looking good for the race. That goal was massive, especially with all the momentum against them. I mean, they just lost 6-2, and then LrdCloudz comes out and hits an insane shot. I mean, the mental was probably just down in the dumps, but now that you have this goal, it's all tied up now, and the game is anyone's to take, as Bonks is gonna try to get a touch here. Beautiful touch pass to defender. LrdCloudz up to Critter. Critter, a low Sal Chally player, but he sure as heck does not play like one. Smith gonna get a 50 with Squirrel. Squirrel cannot find another touch, and he's gonna leave it for his buddy Critter. Critter gonna try to get a second touch, but he has no boost. Macarios gonna get up once, off the backboard. Smith can't find it. Bonks with a shot. It's too low, and Squirrel's gonna deflect it away. Macarios above one. Wait, that just might go in. Bonks is gonna finish it. Now the Wraiths are up by 1.
Big score by this. This is, I believe, their first lead here. As Macarios, big dunk, and Bonks able to finish it. A lot of faith in your teammate just to be in your half and be in the opposing half and put in an easy goal.
Yeah, I think it also says something about this race team that they haven't made any roster changes this entire season. I think that just says a lot about how much faith that they have in each other, regardless of their record. I mean, I feel like there's just a lot of unfortunate situations that happen, and if you can get better as a team, that is ideal, especially playing with a team this entire season. So if they get a win here, they can easily turn the season around, as Macario is going to go for an insane shot. Smith going to send it low. A little under 3 minutes to go. Squirrel gonna get a nice 50. Now it's floating up high. Critter sends it off the backboard. No one there to meet it except for LrdCloudz, who's gonna get a nice 50. Squirrel over to Critter potentially, but Macario is gonna pre-flip it. LrdCloudz off the backboard. Bonks is gonna be there to corral that one. He has 0 boost. He's just trying to wall dash, do whatever he can. A nice flick above LrdCloudz, and now Bonks with a 100 boost. He's gonna try to get a 50. Unfortunately, Macario's up to Bonks. He's already there. Oh my goodness. That was a high confidence play from this race squad here, Chunk.
Yeah, 100%. They are getting a lot of pressure. The greatest way to really not get scored on is just to have immense pressure that we saw from Motion in game 1, and now the Wraiths have it in the latter half of this game too. Just
it's
impressive.
Insane.
Yeah, impressive stuff from the Wraiths in Motion here.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous what they're doing. I mean, just it seems like they're just throwing punches back and forth at each other, but the Wraiths, it seems like they're trying to go for the knockout punches. Little under 2 minutes to go. Motion has to score to stay alive in this game too. The ball is popped up. Bonks is already up. Squirrel gonna hit it down. It's gonna bounce, and now it's a foot race to the ball. LrdCloudz is gonna be up with it. Can he get another? Of course he does. Smith gonna be there to block him. The captain doing captain things there. Smith with 0 boost. Can't find it. Bonks, a beautiful touch, and now Smith is gonna be there to watch Squirrel take it up, and Squirrel's just gonna slide on his hood a little bit. Macarios tries to take it past the entire defense, but nice defense there. LrdCloudz now with a touch off the backboard. It goes. Squirrel gonna get a nice bang, and now it's up to this Motion squad to get in the race end and try to attempt a goal. Do you think it's gonna happen here, Junk?
I think most of their offensive possessions have came with counterattacks too, so if they do try to get this goal, they gotta be wary if things go wrong, so that they don't get into a 2-point hole that would be way harder to come out, especially with this little time remaining.
Yeah, I totally, as we Have a little under 45 seconds left. Not a whole lot of time, especially in Rocket League terms, as Cloud's going to get bumped, and now Smith with a free shot. It's going to go off the crossbar, but wait a second. Now Cloud's with a full tank of boost and maybe a dream. Cloud's going to take it across the field. It gets past two. Can't get past a third. Critter trying to get up there, and he does. He beats out a defender. Now Bonks has to take control of this ball. Smartly keeps it in front of his car. A nice 50. Now Macarios seems like the goal scorer for this Wraiths squad. He's just going to watch Squirrel take it up the wall. Smith's going to get faked out by Squirrel, and now Bonks up with it. He gets it hit past him now. Cloudz versus Macarios. Macarios there, but Cloudz, he can't hit the double tap. Critter off the backboard. Macarios, he's going to be there. He's going to put it to the ground, and the Wraiths take a game to even the series.
Yeah, really smart play just to keep it up. Get your guaranteed game in. Make it sure it's not a sweep. Make sure the casters are both wrong with their predictions. But Cloud's got that early insane goal. But other than that, they had no pressure at all. As Cloud's the only one with shots with 3, and both Squirrel and Critter with a donut. So I'd like to see them also get involved like they did in game 1.
Yeah, that would be incredible. We saw that game 1. I mean, it just looked like they were flying all over the pitch. It seemed like everyone just knew their roles, knew what they were doing. But as soon as the race started feeling confident and getting in the offensive zone and applying that pressure, it just all dissipated for this motion squad. So going into this game 3, all right, you gotta focus on the simple things. You can't overcomplicate anything. I know Cloudz is going for all these flashy plays, but the most flashy play that you can do that is really successful is just a simple 50. 50s are very deadly, especially as a first man, and I hope to see a little bit more from this motion squad as we get this game underway. And, you know, I'm curious, Chunk, you seem to be a little bit of a prophet when it comes to this. Who do you think's taking this game 3?
I think based off the first couple of seconds we've seen that this motion team has a lot more pressure, a lot more involvement. They just got to be careful they don't get those counterattacks that happened in game 1.
Yes. Whoa. Oh, this goes to the back of the net there. Just want to give a quick shout out to Jarhead for subscribing for 34 months. That's a lot of months. I don't know how many years that is. Just wait a second. It's off the crossbar. Cloudz doesn't have boost. Squirrel off the backboard. He can't get it. Critter now to the side. Bonks with a full tank of boost. Can't get it past Cloudz. And seems like this Wraiths team is threatening once again. Off the backboard it goes. Macarios gets one. He's going to try to find a second touch. Maybe a shot. He fakes out Critter. Smith with the shot himself. And the captain capitalizes.
Yeah, just not a lot of boost. Whole lot of nothing on the side as the big fake comes out. Intentional or not, it worked as Smith fires one into the back of the net to take an early lead and prove me wrong again.
I mean, this would be something if the Rays could pull off this victory. And I know I said it early on in this series, but I think the best way to prove the doubters wrong is to get a big win on stream. I think that's how everything really starts, as Critter gonna attempt to take a shot, but wait, an own goal is gonna be detrimental to this Wraiths squad who desperately needed to keep the ball out of the net.
Yeah, that is very disheartening, especially if you're on this Wraiths side, knowing that you've played phenomenal Rocket League, but you just kind of make one missed touch and it'll equal the game out for them. And really could give this motion team a lot of momentum that they were kind of missing the last couple minutes, as Bonks will put in one, as they will take the lead again, just proving me wrong time after time.
Wow. I mean, Critter just passed the ball right down to Bonks, and they're going own goal for own goal, even though that technically wasn't an own goal. You know, Critter just giving Bonks a little bit of a path to the net, you could say, as now motion is in a hole yet again, but this time I don't think they're going to get help from this Wraiths squad to put it in the back of the net, as Cloudz going to be there to retrieve it. Squirrel gets up there. Oh my goodness, he has a bit of boost, but Macarios, great defense. He's been stellar on the defensive end this entire series. Critter pops it high. Now Cloudz with a full tank of boost. He's going to get one, maybe pop it down to a teammate. Critter sends it back the other way, but there's no one going to be back, as, oh, Cloudz just barely makes it back. Critter can't find the touch. Smith, a double attempt coming out from him. He almost peaked right there. And with a little under 3 minutes to go, the Wraiths are still applying so much pressure. I mean, they have 7 shots to Motion's 1.
Yeah, Clouds has been quiet again this game. They need that leader to step up, make these either passes or goals that we saw in game 1, scoring 6, and we haven't seen any in the past 2 really, with their goal in this game coming from an own goal.
You know, you hate to see it, but you know it happens in rock. I mean, especially on stream. Yeah, I've owned gold quite a bit in my heyday, which is right now. I don't know why I said that. Macario is gonna set it down off the backboard. It goes. Smith is gonna be up with it. He doesn't have enough boost, but oh my goodness, what a challenge there! Very ballsy challenge, but. You know, this race team, they're playing like they have nothing to lose, and they sure don't as Squirrel gets off the backboard. Smith down to Bonks, who just now gets boost. He's going to have to corral this ball. He's going to try to beat the last defender, Critter. An excellent defensive play. Squirrel now back to Macarios. Macarios going to pop it high. Critter's going to get on the ball, but it's going to be popped in front of the net. Now Squirrel to Clouds to maybe the sidewall instead of the net. You know, you got to pass it to your boy Critter. Macarios off the backboard. He's gonna get a touch. Cloud's gonna try to meet him there, and he does. A demo coming out. Smith is gonna try to be there. Macarios gonna try to corral this ball as well as the boost. Bonks with 0 boost, and we are under a minute and a half remaining. Motion in the same spot they were in game 2. They need a goal to send this to overtime. And my question to you, Chunk, is what are you seeing from this race squad that's just so impressive so far?
The ability to play both offense and defense for prolonged times in these games has really been what has kept them alive in these past 2 games. It's just really impressive to see teams able to like perform, because they were 0 boost that last possession and they were still able to handle this relenting pressure that Motion had on them.
Yeah, 100%, as Critter is going to take another touch. He has 0 boost. Squirrel going to be there to meet him, and that is an insane shot from Squirrel.
A much needed goal to equalize this series. Another insane shot. At the end of the day, they are all worth the same, but they are going for some insane shots that this race team is just not expecting.
You know, this is a lot of clips happening. I mean, you got to get your medal ready, you know. Clip is, as Squirrel is just going to score another one right there, and now Motion are up by 1.
Big back-to-back swings. It looked like Smith nearly got back to this, but Squirrel just put it with just enough power to put them up 1, and they look like they might swing this momentum back this series.
Yeah, they just might, Chunk, and I mentioned earlier, Critter gets better as the series progresses. This is, you know, just something I've observed, and it seems like Squirrel is just gonna have the same kind of production Critter is later on in the series, but they're going to want to win this game 3 first. Cloud's up with it. He's going to get 1, hopefully a second. Critter trying to put it low. Macarios with a great defensive play. 10 seconds left. Smith with 1. He's going to hopefully get a second. A nice 50. Macarios going to get the ball. Not offer no boost, and the ball is sailing towards the Wraiths' end. And you know what? If there's 1 more second left on that clock, that would have been another goal for this Motion squad, who looked very good in this game 3 in the last minute of the game.
Rip the fantasy points if you have if you have any of these Motion guys on for that last play. Just really sat it down at the 1, but an insane comeback. They were in the dumps for like a majority of that game. Just 2 quick bang bang back-to-back shots puts them up, and I think they can take this momentum they had, like we've always been talking about. Momentum being the org name. Just a lot of puns coming out.
You know what? I'm sure Jax is gonna really like that one. As you know what? I honestly think this Motion squad, they showed their true colors in that last minute of the game. Motion, they got a brand new roster. It's especially hard to play with this brand new roster on stream. So we can all cut them a little bit of slack here. But the race, they're putting up a very good fight regardless. They just need to close it out when it matters. They closed out game 2. Unfortunately, couldn't do the same for game 3. And it was a lot of mistakes having to do with why they couldn't close out that game 3. And honestly, whoever wins this game 4 is going to be the team that makes the least amount of mistakes. And I'm calling it right here, Chunkley.
Yeah, 100%. What I saw last game though was pretty impressive. Clouds had 0 shots, 0 goals. It was good to see Squirrel and Critter step up for the team when he needed it. So I think 100% that will help their case here in this game. As Critter just a little late to that kickoff.
You know, do you think Critter has an actual Critter playing for him instead of himself? Or, I mean, because he just like looking like an absolute mummy on the kickoff there.
Just a little late. He may have been a little distracted. Big shot opportunity there, but
You know, he was just trying to do the GK AFK kickoff. That's what he was trying to do. As Squirrel is going to give a nice pass to Bonks, who is on the other team. Critter sends it to the sidewall. He's going to try to get another, but the 50 not coming out. Bonks going to get one over Squirrel. Makarios cannot get that touch. Now Bonks sending it across. Makarios up with it, but Critter, great defensive play. Clouds, a little awkward in net. He's going to try to get a touch here. He pops it high. Smith, off the backboard it goes. Can anyone put it in? No. Smith going to grab the boost, though. Makarios going to get one. Can they find the goal? No, they cannot. Motion still on the back foot so far. Wraiths stealing all their boosts, and now they're going to take it back into their own end. Smith going to get the ball off his own backboard and send another attack the Motion's way. Squirrel off the sidewall. Makarios and his entire team with full boost, and they're ready to get into that zone. Smith pops it high. He's going to go for maybe a flip reset. He gets it, fakes out Critter, and now Clouds tries to send it towards the net, but Bonks is going to be there on the defense. And with about 3 minutes, oh my goodness, Clouds, as I was about to send it to you, Chunk, he just puts an insane shot on target.
yeah, Cloud's stepping up again. We didn't see him a whole lot last game, like I was saying, but stepped up here to give him the easy leading goal.
You know, it's too easy. It's too easy for Clouds. I mean, you'll see, like, I feel like he's playing a bit more defensive in the past couple games than he has early on in the series. But now that he's able to, you know, really show his offensive prowess, he's getting these really insane goals, and you can see why he's the best player in Chally, in my personal opinion, and also kind of the stats. As Critter gonna get the full boost, Makarios gonna send one on net, but again, it gets saved away. Wraiths already having 4 shots on target. Can Smith get another? Oh, nice pinch off the backboard. It goes, but Critter, a nice touch on his own right. It's still in this motion zone. Clouds sending it down. Makarios gonna be there to corral it. Gets a touch, gets a second. Now Critter backflips on accident. Smith cannot find the demo, and now it's Makarios back pass to Bonks, who gets a nice touch. Smith takes it off the wall. He's going to get one more, maybe a couple, as Makarios is going to be there for hopefully the shot. Clouds a nice save. Bonks continuing the aerial assault on the Motion's end. Will they ever score a goal, or will Motion hold strong here, Chunk?
I've liked the mechanical plays that they've shown. Cloud's mechanical on his own, but Smith and Makarios also pulling out some nice mechanics as they have an opportunity here, Gallium.
You know what? I think they 100% do. And if you keep generating chances like this, eventually a ball is going to sail into the back of the net as, whoa, an insane pinch coming out. Squirrel cannot read this, and I don't think anyone could have read that one. Clouds going to take the boost. Now Critter back to defend. Clouds going to send this one off his own backboard. Smith with the 50. He gets a successful 50 now. Makarios in their zone. The ball is popped high. Box sending it across. Makarios there. And now it's Smith with a bunch of boosts sending it towards net. Squirrel going to bat it away. Critter now gets a touch. He's going to try to go for a second one, but he has no boost. But wait a second. He has an opportunity to put this one to target. He misses his second touch, but wait, a demo attempt coming out. Smith, great defense, and now there's only one back. A 2v1 situation. Squirrel, cool, calm, and collected, going to send that one right back out, and Clouds going to try and fail to get this one into the Wraiths net. And now, with a little over a minute left, this Motion squad are on the opposite end of the spectrum. They need to hold a 1-goal lead here, Chunk.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of opportunities for this Wraiths team that are just maybe one extra touch away that could really send this game into disarray for this Motion team. I'd just really like to see them connect on one more passing plays.
Yeah, you know, all it takes is that one play. Has 40 seconds left. 40 seconds to determine the Wraiths' future in this series. Critter now, full tank of boost. He's going to buy some time. He's going to get one, maybe get a second here. Macario's going to meet him in the midfield. He gets a nice touch. Going to try to go for another, but Cloud's a clear. Critter a nice demo. And Smith going to take it once. Going to pop it high. It's off the backboard. He goes. Critter going to get a nice touch himself. Bonks with a little over 10 seconds left. Bonks off the ceiling. Smith, he misses his touch. Can Critter get there and put it in the open net? Yes, he can. And Motion are most likely going to take this series.
Yeah, do have to add that most likely, Gallium. There is still 5 seconds left. They just need some good kickoffs. But Macarius was kind of back for that. He almost had an opportunity, but that ball was sailing pretty fast towards his own net, making that a pretty tough save for him.
Yeah, as Motion just gonna run out this clock, and Motion takes this game in 3-1 or series in 3-1 fashion, sending the Wraiths, who had a very good game, very good series themselves. I was very impressed with how they played, but I mean, against this Motion squad who has just so much star-studded talent, and it seemed like just so much offense, they just couldn't get it done here.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, they had a lot of momentum in them. Those medium 2 matches just gave them a whole lot of opportunities to like take that, win the series. But overall, it was a great series, great opportunities for both of these teams to take it. I think that just the overall mechanics and better skill came out tonight.
Yeah, and you know what? That's kind of what happens sometimes is, Motion, congratulations on their win. They're going to advance to 7-2 as Race fall to 2-7. But that's it for this Challenger League match. Thank you again, Chunklight, for being with me. But we advance to quite possibly the best map or best match of the night. We have Rockerman and Ventus casting that one. You heard them in that thriller of a series, the first series. So if you like them, stay tuned for this third series. Chunk, it was a pleasure having you in the booth with me.
Yeah, thanks to you too, Gallium. That was a really good game. Most people probably thought it was going to be one-sided, but you got to give them credit for what they showed on stream tonight.
Oh, 100%. I was one of those people. I'm not gonna lie here, but you guys stay tuned because at 9:30 we have a very special matchup coming your way. Peace out.